Joel Klatt back here on the show. How are you, Joel?
What's up? How are you, man?
What was it like in the stadium yesterday? Saturday.
You know,
what was it like?
are you familiar with Chappelle's show?
Of course.
Right. You remember the line from the Chappelle show, if you have hate in your heart, let it out. That's what this feels like, right? I mean, like, that's what this feels like. And I got to tell you, like, I love it. I love it. I love this sport, right? I love college football. And these types of rivalries are what I love most. Now, some people don't like them, and they want to, they want squeaky clean, and they want handshakes and back rubs after the game. This is what makes it great. Candidly, Rich, we don't have this in professional sports anymore. We just don't. Vitriol to this extent. We don't have Lakers Celtics. I mean, we don't really even have this whole Red Sox-Yankees series this postseason. I mean, did you feel anything like we felt when Don Zimmer was getting thrown to the ground? Of course not.
No,
right?
I know.
Like, this is awesome. Like, I think we should appreciate it. And I don't want to take sides. I think I can see both people's arguments. I was standing in the booth when this happens. Okay, so you know how early you get there for a game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm up there just reading over a lot of my notes, and I'm going to go down to the field a little bit later after all the teams get there, and Michigan State comes out, and I can tell they're like all lining up across the end zone, and I'm like, oh, this is interesting, and I knew that they did their walk, but I gotta tell you, I thought they were late as well, just based on when they arrived. It was less than 2 hours from kick. Generally, buses arrive and guys start coming out to the field or first get to the locker room about 2 hours and 15, 2 hours and 20 minutes before kick. So when they came out, I thought, candidly, in my head, I was like, oh, this is interesting. They're a little late. I saw some guys for Michigan down on the field, and from up there, I couldn't tell exactly who they were. So I get on the talk back, and I tell my director, I'm like, hey, who are those guys down there? And so now all our camera guys start getting in position. They start flying around and zooming around. And so we're in position far sooner than we're going to be, right? And sure enough, there's Devin Bush, and we had cameras all over it. And, the Michigan guys are like, hey, I'm not moving. And the Michigan State guys are like, well, we're not going to break our arms or whatever. And so there was this altercation, and it happens right in front of Mark D'Antonio, right in front of him.
Right. So how can again, obviously, I have an emotional tie to this thing, but I'm more than happy to call out, or more than professional to call out, Michigan if it's deserved. But how can D'Antonio call the description BS if he literally was walking past in between the two Michigan guys, one of whom was Bush, when there was something going on. He was right there.
Yeah, I think what he was calling, I think the way I read it is that the insinuation was that he was smiling and laughing at the altercation, and I think that's what he said was BS, but I mean, I don't know what he was smiling at. He seemed to have a grin. He tends to have a wry smile.
I don't have Joel. I don't have a problem if he is smiling over the fact that these kids are getting after it and that they are amidst a rivalry, and he knows that something's getting stirred up. I mean, as you pointed out, this is what the rivalry is about. I mean, but to not own it then afterwards is a little bit bizarre. I don't know what Look, I don't want to put you in a position because you call these games and you speak to these coaches.
I don't know what he was smiling about. I mean, candidly, it's a little easier for us to get a beat on and chat with Mark D'Antonio than it is Jim Harbaugh, as you know. So I feel like I know Mark more than I know Jim. They're both really, really passionate guys,
right?
Let me tell you that I would have no problem sending my son to play for either gentleman.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.